simplify this? I mean, I've seen that you've made it so easy to where your 7-year-old is actually trading stock as well. So how do you simplify it and make it easy for me? And I have no knowledge of this. So how do you simplify it for me?
So my 7-year-old and my 13-year-old both know how to trade.
Wow.
My sons, they love it. They're very interested in the market. The thing is this, I have a creative mind, right? And a lot of people that are like engineers end up being great traders because they can see the patterns. But us creatives, I was like, I need to simplify this for my creatives. So I just use very simple strategies. One of my simple strategies is the 5-minute trader. And it's a system that I created that allows people to be done trading within 15 minutes of the market every single day.
Wow.
Girl, every single day. That's one of my strategies. One of my other favorite strategies is, for example, let's just say Tesla had some really good news. So what happens is overnight, the stock gaps up. So then when the market opens, you look and there's a big space that's wide open. You know what we're gonna do? We want that space to fill. So when the candlesticks start going down into that big rectangle that formed, we're gonna buy puts because the market's going down. The market goes up, we're gonna grab calls into that gap fill.
Welcome to another episode of Access Granted, where I give you exclusive access to entrepreneurs that are killing it in their industry. Today, I'm super excited because we got my sis Heather in the house.
Thank you so much.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited.
We met just a couple of days ago, and
did.
it's like, all right, so you're sharing gems, I'm sharing gems.
Period.
It's like, this is what we're doing. This is how we're locked in, and I'm just so excited for all of the things that you're teaching and all you have in store. But I know who Heather is. Share with the audience, who are you? What do you do? And what are we about to unlock today?
Awesome. So my name is Heather Lindsey. We live in LA. And I teach people how to simplify stock options. I've been trading since 2009. I was introduced to the market in 2009. I didn't start trading until a couple years later, but I really spent some years like learning and refining my strategies. And I'm a wife, I'm a mother of 3 babies, and I really believe in a life of freedom where your nervous system is regulated, where you feel like you're at peace, where you get to pick up your kids from school if you want to, or you get to pursue your business and own your time. And that's what I'm about.
Oh, that's really good. I love that you say simplify. Because sometimes when we think about the market, a lot of people are intimidated by the market 100%. Because they feel like it's so challenging. How do you simplify this? I mean, I've seen that you've made it so easy to where your 7-year-old is actually trading stock as well. So how do you simplify it and make it easy for me? And I have no knowledge of this. So how do you simplify it for me?
So my 7-year-old and my 13-year-old both know how to trade.
Wow.
My sons, they love it. They're very interested in the market. The thing is this, I have a creative mind, right? And a lot of people that are like engineers end up being great traders because they can see the patterns. But us creatives, I was like, I need to simplify this for my creatives. So I just use very simple strategies. One of my simple strategies is the 5-minute trader. And it's a system that I created that allows people to be done trading within 15 minutes of the market every single day.
Wow.
Girl, every single day. That's one of my strategies. One of my other favorite strategies is gap fills. And that's where the market gap up or gap down overnight. For example, let's just say Tesla had some really good news. So what happens is overnight, the stock gaps up. So then when the market opens, you look and there's a big space that's wide open. You know what we're gonna do? We want that space to fill. So when the candlesticks start going down into that big rectangle that formed, we're gonna buy puts because the market's going down. The market goes up, we're gonna grab calls into that gap fill.
Oh, that's really good. So explain to me, what's a put, what's a call?
Sure. Okay. So first of all, I trade options. That's one of my strategies. I trade futures and options, but let's just focus on options. An options is 100 shares of one company. For example, Tesla's $400 right now. If you had the chance to buy 100 shares of Tesla, it would be what? 400,000. That's expensive, right? A lot of money.
Right,
a lot of money. But what if I said you can buy an option that expires next week for $400? That's 100 shares, but it's built into a contract that expires. It says, hey, you can still get 100 shares, but it's an option that expires.
Oh, wow.
So that's the difference. We have our options over here. They expire versus the super expensive shares. So you don't have to do that. But you don't own the option. You're borrowing it.
That's good.
You're just renting it. But you better sell it before it expires or you're going to lose your money. But the shares don't expire, right? They just go on and on.
Okay.
So what I do is I buy those little options for a short period of time, and I buy and hold them and I sell them. So some days I hold for seconds. Some days I hold for hours. Some days I hold for weeks. And sometimes I hold for years.
So you mean to tell me that if I could dedicate 15 minutes of my morning, or 15 minutes of my day to just learning this skill, executing on this, that you can show me how I can turn that 15 minutes into an additional stream of income.
Girl, let me tell you. Yes, let me tell you. All right. So what I specialize in is using small amounts of money to pay for large things. For example, my family is going on a big trip this year. Last year, we spent a month in Asia. This year, we're going to Singapore. We're going back to Asia, Maldives, and Japan, Tokyo.
I love it.
And so what I do is I showed my group that I'm trading for the trip. I'm not using earned income to fund this trip. I'm trading for it. I use just $800. I trade the 5-minute trader system, and I take base hits every day. So what's a base hit? It might be $300 that day, $50 that day, $500 that day, and I immediately transfer it to a high yield savings account. So I can't lose the money. Mm-hmm. I pulled it out of the market, right? Right now, I am up $84,000 on that account. And I have publicly shown the entire process. I showed my group, my trades I've gotten into, and the whole thing. So they've watched me turn 800 into over 80,000. So guess what? Our whole trip is paid for using the 5-minute trader system.
That's amazing. So how much do I need to even get started?
Okay. So I always say you need 500 to 1,000 to get started. But when I'm teaching people, you trade with paper money. I don't want you trading with real money because you don't know what you're doing. And so many people, especially my ambitious folks, jump in the market with a lot of money and they think more money makes you a better trader. No, we need to learn to be faithful with small. And then if you can flip 2,000 to 4,000, then you can flip 50,000 to 100,000. So I have people start off small because I don't want you to lose a lot of money when you get started. I want you to grow that muscle of growing your account.
What I love about the platform that you've built is there are a lot of women that are learning from you. And if you think about stocks and options and trading, 10 years ago, it was really a male dominant space.
2% are women.
Really?
And 98%
Still?
women. I think now it's more 8%, but it's for the most part, it's been 2%.
Really?
Yeah.
And you have how many women that you are?
Oh gosh, I have taught over 100,000 women.
Wow.
How to trade.
That's amazing.
And men too. I mean, I have men in my group. I mentor men as well. But yeah, so many people have found success. And I actually have a free class coming up.
Okay.
It's called the 5minutetraderclass.com, and it's 5, just the number 5.
Okay.
And I want to show people the basics, right? Because I want to show them it's not scary, right? Like, just tune in, check it out. It's free. What do you have to lose, right? Yep. We have a link down below.
Yep. So if you're watching this right now, I want you to pause. Don't go anywhere. Just pause. And I want you to click the link in the caption, 5minutetrader.com.
Yeah.
Come lock in with Heather. I'm going to be in the room, so make sure you are in the room because we're going to learn how to invest 15 minutes of our day.
15 minutes of your day.
15 minutes of our day. So when you're in, instead of scrolling on social media in the morning.
I made a bag by then. While you scrolling.
I'm locked in. I'm ready.
100%.
So if I wanted to do this, what are like 3 steps where I can actually execute and get started?
Okay, so the first step is you need education because you don't know what the heck you're doing. And I think what people do is they go on YouTube and they just find a million people that are doing it. And what happens is you start to get paralysis analysis with your decisions because you have too much data coming at you. When you're trading, you need one mentor. And granted, you can have more mentors over time. But as you get started, you should have one mentor, one strategy, and one stock. So stocks have personalities. Just like your daughter, she has a personality. You have a personality. And the more time that you spend with a person, you begin to learn their personality and how they are. Stocks have personalities. So guess what? Every day, SPY has the same patterns. And if you and SPY is the S&P 500, right? I've learned to day trade because I've spent so much time with that particular stock. I spent so much time with Tesla. That's my favorite stock. And it's bought me Teslas, literally, right? And so that's the thing. I've learned how Tesla moves. And when you begin to study the different stocks and you learn them, you can swing them and make a lot of money. So it's actually pretty incredible.
That's really good. You mentioned something in the beginning about a mentor. And I think, I know for me, a mentor changed my life. Like it was, my first mentor, I made my first $100,000. My second mentor, I made my first $1 million. Like, a mentor is so important. But when I'm trying to learn the skill of, stocks and options and trading, of course, we want Heather to be your mentor. But what am I looking into? And, so many different people have different strategies on how to trade. So what should I look for in a person that's going to teach me?
For me personally, I like to look at the person as a whole in general. What do they think about family? What do they think about friendships and relationships? Are they honest people? So it's about getting around a person to see look at their lives on social media. do you see a life that you want? Right? Because if I don't see the life that you want, then like, you know what I mean? Like there's this one guy, I paid for mentorship with him, and he would get on these lives and he would talk about his multiple wives and multiple girlfriends and would show pictures of them. And I was so uncomfortable. And I was like, oh my God. And the way he talked about women was so derogatory. And so for me, I don't want to get behind that, right? So whoever I'm partnering with or whoever I want to get mentorship from, it has to be somebody I feel like I can support and get behind, and they're a good person. It doesn't have to be perfect, because nobody is. There's no such thing as a perfect mentor. But I think for me, it's like, do I trust this person, right? Because I don't want to pay and sow into somebody that I don't feel like is honest and I can get behind their mission and who they are as a person. So it's important to me that if anybody finds a mentor, whether it's me or anybody or you or anybody else, it's just like that I can trust them and I can get behind their vision.
That's good. That's really, really good. I love that you are incorporating family.
Yeah.
Like, I think family is, I can just see the glow when you talk about your family. and how passionate you are about just making sure that they're involved in this as well. What are some things that you're doing to educate your kids on stocks and options and trading, and how has it changed, allowing them to be a part of this journey, helped you on yours as well?
Definitely. So I include them when I show them my trades. I show them how much money I make. I show them my trades. I'm like, look, or if the market ripped, I'll pull up my chart and I show my son, and he'd be like, what? Did you get calls? Did you get in that? Right? So at this point, they know how. But my youngest, or my oldest, he actually did a class when he was 8 years old with me, went live with 20 kids live, and they were all under the age of 16, and they learned how to trade. I have a kids course.
Wow.
And so I showed them his strategy, very simple strategy, and he showed it. And then I also talked about the power of compounding and how they need to make their money work for them. And those kids are still trading to this day. It's actually pretty incredible. So that's what I do there. But also we do money meetings in our family. And so we try to do a monthly, but sometimes it ends up being quarterly because my kids decided to join every sport possible. But we do money meetings. So in the beginning of the money meeting, I give everybody like these jars, and the jars say spend, save, invest / give. And so they have jars throughout the month. And so when they do great in school, do great in sports, they get extra money put in their jars.
That's good.
They read books, they take investment classes, anything like that, they get more money put in their thing. So at the end of every month is a competition of who has the most, right? However, the money that's in the giving section, what we do is we always order Uber Eats. I let the kids order Uber Eats once a week because they had a problem. They was trying to turn up and do it every day, and mama cooked. So I'm cooking, and the doorbell rings, and we got Uber Eats coming. No, we don't. I cooked tonight, right? So what we do is we give everything in the giving to the Uber driver. So then what we do is we go to them and we say, hey, this is the amount of money. And we take 10% of the money they made that month and they give to the Uber driver, and we pray for the Uber driver. Like, is there anything we can pray for you about? So it's really great. So I wanted to show them giving in real time, right? So then we go and I give them a budget. Write out what you think our family budget is. Write out how much you think our mortgage is, how much you think our gas is. It's very interesting. Their ideas are wild, and it's funny because my daughter was like, what? Car insurance is a scam. She's like, what? Exactly. She said, you guys pay that much for your water and electricity? Yes. That's why I'm gonna need you to turn them lights off, right? And we're in LA. So I'm like, I'm gonna need you to turn it. So just including them in budgets and investing, I have them search stocks. Okay, everybody choose a stock and tell me why you chose it. Go up to the whiteboard, write the total of what the stock is and what it was a year ago. So they know how to search stocks. They know how to choose stocks. They understand stocks. Birthdays come around. Hey, choose your favorite stocks. What stocks do you want for your birthday?
Ooh.
Christmas comes around. What stocks do you want to buy? All right, come on, let's buy the stock together. So I go through and I show them practically how to do it. We have money meetings where we talk about our family trust. This is how much you guys will get paid out monthly once you hit the age of 18. However, if you're not working, not in school, not volunteering, you don't get the trust. This is not just some handout. You need to be doing something. God has given all of us a purpose. So maybe you don't feel led to work. You don't have to, but volunteer somewhere at least once a week. Do something. You can't just like piggyback off of this. I show them their investment accounts. All of our kids' net worth is well over 6 figures, and they are 6, 10, and 13. Wow. We started investing in these 4 accounts when they were born. The last one happened a little bit later, but 5 to 9 education plan. We like that one because any 31,000 of unused funds can be rolled over to a Roth IRA that's unused for the 5 to 9, or you can roll it over to the next child if needed, or grandbabies. The second account is their UTMA account. So we open up the UTMA account, but it is directly in their name. So we call it the purpose fund. When our kids hit 18, they'll get a check for that amount of money, start a business, get real estate, whatever you feel purpose to do. The third account is going to be their taxable brokerage. I trade in that account for them. So when they need a car, guess what? I'm pulling the money from there because I've been trading for them since they were born, right? So that money's piling up. The last account is the Roth IRA. We've hired all of our kids for my company, The Busy Trader. So they're all 3 employees. They're influencers and they're very much involved in the company. They take the kids course and they encourage other kids to trade as well. So they have those 4 accounts. They're aware. We go over their amounts that are in there and the stocks that I chose for them. Mom, why did we choose VU? Great question. It's S&P 500. The S&P is a basket of stocks, 500 stocks, right? And if the company is crappy, they get booted out of the S&P 500 and they bring somebody in who's good. That's why for the past 100 years, it's had 10 to 11% annually in returns, even on down years, right? So even on down years, if we look at everything as a whole, it goes up, right? So it's constantly teaching them and including them in the process because listen, wealth is gone after 3 generations unless it's taught. But we have a family trust and we have explained to them, there's like stipulations and they'll understand that there's certain things you have to abide by. If you want to be an alcoholic, and I pray none of our kids will ever be that, but guess what? You're not getting no money in the fund. You want to have a bunch of babies outside of a marriage. You want to have 3, 4, 5 baby mamas. We're not funding that. The trust doesn't fund that, right? So we just have rules and regulations of things that we do to support them to the life that they want. And they're all well aware. And I mean, my 7-year-old knows I ain't having a bunch of babies out of wedlock, right? It happens. And if it does maybe once or twice, okay, but you can't have a bunch of baby mamas skipping around here. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So our son wants to go to the NFL. He's well aware. His NFL contract goes into the trust. He won't own it. So if some little girl skips around here to try to take from him, he won't own anything.
Mama already protected you.
The whole family's protected.
Wow. I'm over here like taking notes. Like I got some work to do.
I got you, Bill.
I already know. I know I know you're a text message away. I know. I'm gonna be like, what's the 4 accounts I need again? And I know you're just gonna spit it out. This is amazing. Like I know somebody started this and they were like, all right, I'm getting ready to get some stock information, but you just gave a whole game plan on how to protect our family, and that's what it's really about.
It's a wealth mindset. Yeah. And that's what I'm teaching. It's not just stocks. Okay, once you make a bunch of money from stocks, if you listen to me, you'll make money. What are you going to do with it? What's the plan? Are we putting it towards retirement? Are we paying off our high interest debt? Are we going on trips? Like what's the purpose of it? Once you get the money, where's it going? And I always got a plan. And
that's so good. My background, I used to work for Wells Fargo.
Oh, nice.
And while working for Wells Fargo, I always tell the story of people would come inside the bank and there would be, minorities most of the time. They wouldn't bring their kids inside. It was like, stay in the car, I'll bring you a sucker outside. Yeah. But then there would be other races that would bring their kids inside of the bank with them. Yeah. They would sit them down. They would watch, educate them about what their finances were. If they were taking out a home equity line of credit, or if they were doing a new checking account, a new savings account, and they were explaining to them what they were doing and the benefit of it. And there was one gentleman who, I worked for Wells Fargo for 15 years. Oh, wow. And there was one gentleman, he brought his teen daughter in, opened up her first teen account. She already had a savings account. Yeah. And she opened up her first teen checking account. She came back a couple of years later. She opened up her first college account and got a credit card. She came back a couple of years later and she bought her first house.
Come on.
This is the time frame of me working at Wells Fargo, but it goes back to education 100%. And how being educated in a topic or a subject passes down to your generation. And I just love that you break it down that way.
Oh yeah. I mean, I grew up poor, and I think people think that, she had a start. No, I was adopted at the age of 6 months. I have 23 siblings, actually 24 in total, but 23 are adopted. We're all adopted except one. Wow. My parents adopted the kids that nobody else wanted. They thought I had cerebral palsy, and I actually did. And God miraculously healed me at the age of 3. So I had all the doctor's reports that said I had cerebral palsy. The doctors know I have it. it said she will undoubtedly not walk or talk or live a normal life her whole life.
Wow.
All of a sudden at 3, my mom said I started hitting every milestone. Mind you, I was overlooked by other families because they said she has cerebral palsy. So they bypassed me. A lot of biracial families bypassed me because I'm black and white. And instead they were like, well, we'll give dibs to this family, a white family, because they don't care. My mom was like, she's mine. I'll take her. I don't care if she has cerebral palsy. Most of my siblings have Down syndrome, cerebral palsy. My sister had cystic fibrosis. So it's like I grew up very differently, right? And my family life, and I grew up very poor, and I had to learn how to be resourceful because there's 20 some of us. And we all grew up in 3 different generations, right? So it's like I didn't grow up in a home where it's like, oh, here's a trust fund. Oh, here. No. It was like, I got to figure it out. You know what I mean?
But you didn't stay in that. And now you're creating a legacy for your kids. I love
Always
that
had
for
a plan.
you. That's amazing.
I'm getting out.
Yeah.
But now I can help my mom. I used stocks to buy her first house.
Really? Congratulations. That's amazing. I think a lot of times we talk about all of the amazing things that we're doing and being in the stock. What are some challenges that you've actually faced, especially early on in getting started, and some losses that you took as well?
I blew a lot of accounts. A lot of accounts. I had a scarcity mindset. You grow up poor, you have a scarcity mindset. You think that you're just not content. I remember one day I was up 9,000 on a swing overnight, and I was so excited. But I saw a gap fill, and I love gap fills. It's one of my favorite strategies outside of the 5-minute trader system. And I saw it there, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get in. I got in, and I just kind of went about my day. I held my position, and it went way against me. I'm talking, I was down $6,000. So I was up 9,000. Why was I not content with that 9,000? Why did I have to get back in? And that's what scarcity mindset does. A scarcity mindset says over and over again, this is not enough. You need to go in for one more and go in for one more. So I had to learn to be content. When I am green in one account, I am done trading that account. I trade in about 10 different accounts every day. And so once I'm greening that account, I'm done. Like, I'm not going back. I'm not touching it. I'm green. I'm content. And I think in the business world, more is better, but in the stock market, less is more.
Really?
Less is more. I trade 1 to 2 times in every account, and I'm done for the day. And it's about accepting what the market is giving you that day. But a scarcity mindset is like, I have to force a bunch of trades. I need to jump back in. No. So I would blow accounts. I would be green, and I would go back in and give all the money back. So I had to start to work on healing little Heather. And working through my childhood trauma of being adopted, of feeling rejected. And the thing is, my birth mom almost tried to abort me when I was in her womb. And so there was actually a few babies aborted before me. And so the doctor said, if you abort this one, you're going to actually die, to my birth mom. So she kept me because of that. Wow. So studies show that there's something that happens cellular in your DNA when you feel like you're not wanted from your birth mom. And then when you finally get to the earth, it feels like you have to prove that you're supposed to be here. So people that feels like they were mistakes, they go really, really hard because they're constantly trying to prove that they're supposed to be here. So my success for a long time was trauma response related. And I had to really step back and heal. I believe I went through about a 5-year journey of laying down everything I was doing, just about, except really trading. I still traded, but all the public things that I did to really heal and step back and be like, who am I? Who has God called me to be? Just a lot of forgiveness of like my parents and forgiveness of my birth mom, just things like that. I had to heal. I had to work through little me. I had to go to therapy. I would go do intensives at therapists, like therapy centers, to work through that like abandonment trauma that I had, because my identity was in performance. My identity was in just like hustling and going hard. And I was like, no, I need to heal. I need to be still and know that God is God over my life. I need to chill out. And so I remember a whole year not accepting any speaking engagement, not turning down a book deal, and just sitting there. And I told God, I was like, I feel like such a loser. I feel like such a loser because I'm not being productive. And he said, you're more anointed now than you've ever been. I was like, I speak in stadiums. What do you mean? And you think that like performance means like anointing. No, like being obedient to what God wants you to do is what's most important. So I laid it all down. I turned down 6-figure here and there everywhere. And I was like, all right, God, my identity has to be in you, or I'm not getting on a stage. I'm not interviewing. I'm not speaking. I'm not doing anything. I'm going to sit here and be still. So I did. And I finally started to heal. And then it started to reflect in the market. It started to reflect in my businesses. It reflected in my relationships. I am just now taking interviews for finance. And I have my company for like 5 years. I have not done an interview. I've declined them all. I wanted to be in a good place, and I am.
This is so good. It's so good. I always love these podcast episodes because I get to know the guests like a little bit better. Like we chat, we've been in the same rooms, but to sit down and have a conversation with you and just to hear how amazing you are
you're sweet.
is so exciting. So what advice would you have to the woman? I'm going to speak to the women right now. What advice would you have to the mom that's trying to balance it all? Maybe the stock market would be an extra source of income for her. Like she's trying to figure it out. She's trying to heal. She's trying to make sure she's doing all the things. What advice would you have to her right now?
My advice is learn the stock market, but don't make it an idol. You can't put your hope in it. And even in like me sharing on a regular basis, I might like, I turn this amount into this amount. Your goal should not even be money when you're learning. And that sounds crazy, but your goal should be to be a good trader, right? I want to be a good trader. Money follows a good trader. If you can show up to the market and say, today I'm going to trade my plan. Today I'm going to be a good trader. Take off the pressure, take off the weight. You don't have to carry that weight. Show up, practice on demand. There's so many amazing, like I use Thinkorswim, which is Charles Schwab. It has an on-demand feature. You can go in there and practice right now. So the people I'm coaching, I recommend 30 minutes to an hour a day of practice. If LeBron is practicing, why aren't we? Right?
That's good.
Like you should be practicing. So I would say keep practicing. I would say be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you take a loss. Remember, it's overhead. Any business has an overhead. The overhead of the market is losses, but you control how big or small those losses are. You don't have to hold forever and take a huge loss. You're responsible for that. So start small. Be faithful with small. Keep showing up. Take your base hits. Listen, 3% of your account a day doubles it in 30 days. I'm coaching somebody who needs $363 a day to pay for her family bill. Her husband recently got let go from his job. They need $8,000 a month. She trades, and it's funny. Her goal is $363 a day, because that equals $8,000 a month. On Friday, she made $2,000. On Thursday, she made $1,500. On Wednesday, she made $4,000. Exactly. I was like, oh girl, you crushed every goal.
Right.
You could take a couple days off.
You can take a couple of days off.
Just chill out, right? Yeah. But that's the beauty in it. If you show up to be a good trader, money follows you. Don't think about the money part. Money's gonna come. Take off the pressure off of yourself. Just show up to be a good trader and trade your setup and trade your plan. I give strategy. I give you a plan. I'd be like, here's your plan. Here's where you enter. Here's where you exit. Here's where you take profit. Here's where you stop out.
But with trading, every day is not a good day, right?
No.
So there are some losses in trading.
It's
so
overhead.
How do I take those losses and turn them into lessons and go back in the next day still with the push and the motivation to actually trade again?
The market don't know you. Yeah. You got to let it go. You have to have amnesia in the market when it comes to losses. Like you can't hold on to that because the market is brand new every day. If you can trade the same setup, trading is about probabilities. So you're probably going to take a loss, okay? But you're probably going to take a win. It's about percentages. My percentage right now on the 5-minute trader system is 89 to 91%. I know, it's pretty high. That strategy is just golden. It just does really well.
And you're teaching this strategy for free.
This and then the 5-minute trader challenge where I go into it for 5 days and I'm teaching people every single day the 5-minute trader system and strategy, and they're going to walk away knowing how to trade it on it's the 5minutetraderchallenge.com. Okay. I'm going to give away all the secrets.
Oh, I love this. I love this for you. I am locked in.
Come on.
I'm excited. My daughter, she trades a little. She has like a little account so I'm going to make sure she's locked in too. Imagine it's mommy and daughter if we're sitting there with our matchas.
Yes, I have my matcha over there, girl.
She's a matcha girl, but we're sitting there with our matchas and we're really locked in on this. But I love when kids can actually see their parent doing something amazing and it just kind of rubs off on them. But she actually got into it with, just being in proximity, like being in environments where other kids were talking about trading. And she's in like a mentorship program and she's like, all right, I want to do this too. And so now she has a platform where she's making money on TikTok and she takes a small percentage and she puts it into her stock account. I'm like, what are you doing?
I love
and so
her.
She's trying to figure it out.
On it. You are a great mother.
Thank you. You are as well.
Thank you.
You are as
Pat
well.
yourself on the back,
we
honey.
have to, because these kids, this next generation, they are going to be, we didn't have, I don't remember at 14 years old or 15 years old having anybody around me talk about stocks and options
No.
and trading.
At the time, you had to call your stocks in.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't just go on a computer and push a button.
Right.
My stepdad who taught me, he had to call his trades in. So you have to understand, like, it's totally different. Funny story, my son was in 5th grade, Logan, my oldest. He's in 7th grade now, but he was in 5th grade at the time. And he got into a trade. He got into a Tesla trade, and it went against him. And he was so frustrated. And he's like, I'm just going to hold it. I was like, are you sure you want to hold? He said, yes. Email my teacher and give me an update on the trade, because he was stressed. He went to school stressed out. And I emailed her. I was like, can you please tell him that Logan made $89 on his Tesla trade, and I sold him out, and he's good to go. And so she told him, she said, well, that was a first. And he was so happy. He's like, I'm so glad I got green on that trade. He's like, those losses suck.
Oh,
but
wow.
It's good for him to experience that now. It's good for your daughter to experience that now, right? Because they'll learn how to manage their losses a little better.
That's amazing. What last piece of advice would you give to just somebody watching this that's ready to lock in, ready to go all in on just going to the next level? And they're definitely going to be inside the 5-minute trader as well.
No, I would love that. I think if you feel afraid, maybe you're watching this and you're already feeling defeated. Like, I've tried, I've lost money, or I looked at the stock market, I didn't know what I was doing. Look, I encourage you to get back up again. It's time to get back up again, okay? And refuse to be defeated. Anytime that you hear something new, you most likely talk yourself out of it before it even happens. It's time for us to step back and say, I want to live a different life. I want to do things differently. It's not even about options trading. If you haven't peeped game, I care about your childhood trauma. I want to help you work through that. And that's what I do every single day with my community. I help them work through their crap, because what good is it for you to have a bunch of money, but you feel like crap on the inside, right? So I marry the two together, because I want you to also be like happy and a good person and have money, right? I want us to live an abundant life, and that's important to me. But if you're talking yourself out of something new, you have to ask yourself, where'd that come from? Where did I pick that up from? Because that's not the abundant life I want to live. And then if you're listening and you feel like, I'm too busy, great. It's called the busy trader. We're all too busy. I have strategies for personality, right? Maybe you're like, well, I can't trade the first 15 minutes of the market. It's okay, girl. I got swing trades for you. Or, sir, I got swing trades for you. I can teach you how to swing trade. I teach people how to trade based on their personalities. And so I'm like, just give me 5 minutes and I'll know within 3 minutes what type of trader you are.
All right. So if you are still locked in, and I'm sure you are, I want you to make sure you click the link in the bio, 5minutetrader.com. Free
5minutetraderclass.com.
5minutetraderclass.com.
Yeah,
but the correct
one.
link is in the bio. Make sure you lock in. Heather, tell them where they can find you.
Sure. You can find me on Instagram at Heather L. Love, or Busy Trader on Instagram at The Busy Trader. And then on Facebook, Mrs. Heather Lindsey.
I love it. I love it. All right, you guys, this has been another amazing episode of Access Granted. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this with 3 people that you love. Until next time.
Bye. Hi, my name is Heather Lindsey, and I just had the best time with Coach K. We talked everything: stocks, childhood trauma, helping our kids how to trade and take them to the next level. This is an episode you absolutely do not want to miss, and your access has officially been granted.